Let's do on this. All right, we're on week 3. So excited. Love seeing everyone here. There's so many. Good job for showing up. So proud of you. Tonight, we're going to mix up a little bit of attraction marketing with branding. And we're going to talk about what the heck is attraction marketing versus branding. What's the difference? Why do we care?
Shelly, your microphone is going in and out again.
Not again. If I bring you closer, is that better? Better? Okay. Someone spotlight Shelly. Oh, you want me to spotlight myself? Spotlight me for everybody. Okay, let's try this again. So attraction marketing versus branding, there is a difference. And let's talk about that. Okay, so attraction marketing to me is all the feels. What does someone feel about you? Why do they feel that way? When they look at your name on social media or they see you in person, what do they feel? And then branding is more visual. That's how I like to kind of describe it. Branding is all about, your logo, your colors, what do they think when they see you? There's a few people, I always think of Jennifer Anderson because I actually went to a class she did a few years ago at In-Person World Tour, and she talked about her brand is Starbucks, Boston Terriers, and I can't remember the other thing. So, but she's like, when anyone sees me, that's what they think of. And people will send me screenshots of, a cute shirt with a Boston Terrier on it or a funny meme about Starbucks, because that's what she has really put herself out there. So that's her brand. But then attraction marketing is how it makes people feel. When people are looking at, hey, I need to order some Scentsy and I know 3 people that sell it, who do they go to? And it's usually who they feel. I was kind of reading some articles today, and Home Depot does a really great job at attraction marketing. Obviously, they have a great brand, but their commercials, how do their commercials make you feel? I mean, they talk about you can do it, what is it? Now I just forgot their whole slogan, but they're talking about how if you need to be able to do something, we've got everything for you. And then they show like just normal people painting something or putting in a floor. And you're like, yeah, I could do that. Like, that makes me feel good. I feel like I can go out and be one of those doers. And it makes you feel good inside. And even their micro influencers that they use, Home Depot works a lot with influencers because those people make other people feel really good. Makes them feel like they can accomplish something. I actually follow a lot of those influencers and have tried that. So think about attraction marketing when you're thinking about how you want people to feel. And this is not knocking anybody who does this, because I think we've all been guilty, but what you post on social media will get a reaction. So every time you post something, you have to think about, do I want to attract people with this post, or do I want to push them away? And there's a whole slew of topics that we can choose, right? Especially over the last 2 years, that can push people away and it can attract people. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily right or wrong, but you want to think about who you're attracting. If you don't care, then that's fine. If you've got plenty of customers and recruits and, no big deal, right? But if you're like, anyone could be my customer. And I don't want to push anyone away that could be my customer. I want to attract all the people. And when they come to my feed, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, I want them to feel uplifted and positive. But there's some people, like there's a lady I follow on Instagram. I feel really bad, but she She posts nothing but memes in her stories. I come there to see her memes, but then she'll show like her family, and I'm like, skip, 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 skip. I don't care about your family. I just want to see your memes, which I think there are some people who genuinely care about her kids, and that she posts, they're cute. But I'm like, no, you have turned your brand and you are attracting people by the types of memes that you're posting, because they're funny. They're not political. They're not like religious. They're just really funny, hilarious memes. And so, the downside to what she created is also a lot of people don't care what she's doing in her life. So thinking about that, what you want to do. So here's a few questions. I will be posting this as a PDF in the Trello. So that way you can print it off, or you can put it on a tablet, on your phone, and you can fill it out and try and work through these questions. So when you're doing attraction marketing for your product, for Scentsy, you don't want to just be like, oh my gosh, look at this Cinderella warmer, it's so cute. It is cute, but what does it do? What kind of feelings do you want people to have around this warmer? Same with the air purifier. The air purifier is a great one. I just saw, I think it was Mallory Thompson. She posted how she's so excited to have her baby have clean air. Like, she's pregnant and she's like, I'm so excited that my baby's going to have clean air in her bedroom. And I mean, that brings some emotions to a few people, like, oh my gosh, maybe my baby needs some clean air, right? She's not just posting that, like, look at this air purifier and here's all the bells and whistles and what does it do? She's just evoking an emotion of being a mom and wanting clean air for her baby. So every time, not every time, because sometimes it's like, how many ways can I spin a Cinderella warmer or a Disney warmer or whatever? But if you're using like Maggie Hensley sprays, she does a lot of the Scentsy Fresh every day. She goes around, changes her wax. So she's showing what she does every day just as part of her routine. And I'm a Scentsy consultant and I like to watch her do that. So, but that's kind of attracting people. And I've spoken to her personally and she gets sales because they're like, oh yeah, like, I bet her house smells really great. I want that. I want people to walk in and, feel that emotion. Scent is, evokes emotion. What social media platform are you focusing on? It's legit impossible unless you have like a whole team of people like Scentsy, like corporate does, that can focus on every single platform. We don't need to do that. So what are you going to focus on? Right now in my business, I'm focusing on Instagram. I'm taking some courses, I'm practicing, I'm doing all the things. I'm learning all the different things in Instagram, because it's not just let's post. Right now we have stories, we have reels, we have all these like hashtags, how to use them, how to do all that. So focus on one platform. If you love Facebook, that's the same thing. Facebook has stories and they have videos like reels, but you can also, if you're like, no, I really want to focus on building my VIP group, then that is your platform. That's what you're using. So figure out what you want to focus on and really dive deep and grow there. So going back to how are you making people feel? If you are only friends with your close people on the Facebook and you don't really care what you post, that's where you get all of your like word vomit about how you're mad at the lady who stood behind you in Walmart, or the lady that you're mad at because she honked at you on the freeway, whatever. That's great. Post it all there. But if that's also where your customers are and all of your team members are, then you might want to rethink how you're going to market yourself on there. But for me, I mostly use Facebook just to kind of keep in touch with people, but I'm growing my customer base on social media. So it depends on what you want out of what you're doing. And there's tons of different social media platforms, obviously, right? So there is Facebook, Instagram, you've got Pinterest, that's considered social media. You can grow your business on there. Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. There's probably more. Those are the only ones that I know of right now. Okay. How often are you showing up in front of your customers? Obviously, we don't want to just Scentsy all day long. And there used to kind of be a 70-30 rule. You can stick to that, where it's like 70% of the time, if especially on Facebook, you're posting, you want to do 70% personal, 30% other stuff. With the algorithm, it really just whatever, just post. But if you really just want to focus on Scentsy, do more of that attraction marketing and not just post All Is Well collection is here and Cinderella is here and look at this product, look at that product. Do some fun things in there, like this or that, or a product that you're actually using, why you like a product. And then throw in some like personal stuff, especially in stories. That's a really great place to post fun things that people can get to know you. If there's something that you do every day, like go for a walk, or you have animals, or you get a certain drink every single day. Like I don't go to Starbucks, but I love Dr. Pepper. And a lot of people, especially over the pandemic, learned that I love Dr. Pepper because it was really hard to find. And then I randomly, and I prefer it, although now it's hard to find again. It's green Dr. Pepper made with real sugar. And so I had people all over the United States tagging me in posts and mailing me Dr. Pepper. I'd show up on my front doorstep and I'd have green Dr. Pepper on my front doorstep. And so, I mean, that worked out very well in my favor, but now people are like, oh, you like Dr. Pepper. It's easy. We know now. And then we moved out to 10 acres on a farm, and I've shared a lot of what we've been doing because we really don't know what we're doing. And now people who I had no idea were following my stories are reaching out and going, oh my gosh, like we need to have an update, or thank you so much for updating us on the animals. I've been wondering. I'm like, what? So people are watching what you're doing and watching what they're sharing, and they're interested. I know Crystal, they have a cream soda and I don't like it. It's gross. But other people do, but it's neither here nor there. Okay. Also, attraction marketing. How do you help customers? If you help your customers, if you go above and beyond, if you're sending out mailers, if you're following up, if you're doing all of those things, people like that. And then they want to send other people to you because they're like, oh my gosh, my consultant's amazing. And then always think about how you're making other people feel. I think I've talked about this many times in all the other places. But I've had to really work on my facial expression, especially like on video. In doing trainings, it's like we need to smile and we need to move our body, because if you're just sitting here and I'm going live and I'm just so excited that you're here, like you can genuinely be excited, but they don't see that. This looks boring and like so you have to kind of practice using your smiles and your body language. And it goes the same way when you're sending a message. We all know that text can fall flat. The way I sent it and the way I said it in my head was like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. How are you doing? But they read it like, oh yeah, it was good to see you. Okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because they have no idea. It's just sent with some periods and like maybe an exclamation point. Like, it was so good to see you. You know, like they can hear it however they want to. So use emojis. Even if you don't use emojis, practice. You don't have to use 25 emojis. Just, you know, a little heart there, a smiley face there. Like, especially when I'm talking to my customers and I'm like, you know, when someone says, sure, is that like a, oh, sure, or a, yeah, sure. You know, but if you do a sure with a smiley face, it's like a, oh, sure. So they can't read your body language and they can't see your face. And so you have to show them what you're meaning. And so make people feel, well, I guess you can't make anyone feel, but show them through the way that you're treating them and showing love and using the emojis and all that stuff. If you're going live, practice using the happy body language and smileys. Okay, so now getting into branding. um, it's all about perception, right? In what people see as your brand. And so sometimes you have to tell people what's your brand. Now, sometimes with Scentsy, it's hard because Scentsy is its own brand. We are a consultant for Scentsy. And so we have to kind of come up with our own micro brand. That's who we are. We are essentially the influencer. We're telling people I sell Scentsy and I love Scentsy and Scentsy, but people want to know who you are. They want that relationship. If you follow anyone on social media that you don't actually know in person, you get what I'm talking about. Like, I want to know what Mallory is doing with her house every day. And I love seeing her sweet boys, but I love seeing like all the things that she does. And I come back every single day to check in on Philip to see what he's doing because of the way that he is showing me what he's doing. It's not just, yeah, I built a project today. Here's a picture. Like, he's really showing me the nitty gritty, and that's his own personal brand. So it's the same, like just showing pictures every single day is a product is boring. Show people how you're using them. Show people, I get a kick out of people really like to play this or that, in stories that they want to, I don't know why, because I do too though. I get on different brands and their stories. And I'm like, yeah, beach or forest, nope, beach, like shrimp or chicken, like it's simple stuff, but it gets people engaged. They want to do those things. So same within your brand. What do you want your audience to know about you? Just like I mentioned with Jennifer Anderson or Maggie or myself or anyone that you can think of. When you think of your best friend, what do you think of? And so show those things. You don't have to show every part of your life, but show the favorite things that you love and that you do consistently. A logo. So most people think of the logo. Now, you don't have to have a logo, but a lot of people out there love getting those like cartoons. That's essentially can be your logo. You put your face. Your face can be your logo. Whatever you're putting all over the place. Okay, maybe I'll post a picture. Like I have the same thing that I print on all of my envelopes every single time I send out a mailer, because now I just do white plain envelopes. It's simple, it's inexpensive, but I have the same I guess logo that I print on there. So when they see it, it's like, oh, it's Shelly Mail. That's exactly what that is. Why should others pay attention to you? Why should I get on social media and go and see what Crystal's doing? Like, I want to know. Jessica Matthews is a good one to follow on Facebook. She's not in your face and she's not making stories every day, but she posts the funniest things. She's from like North Carolina, and you can actually like read her Southern drawl in the way she posts stuff. And she shares everything. She'll share like what she made for dinner and the recipe, or that she's working on like a paint project, or just like, some Southern like, what the hey, who is happening today? And you're like, that's really funny, Jessica. I want to keep following you. I mean, she's one of my friends also. So you should hear her in person, but on social media, she's really great. Who do you want to reach? I think this is one of the hardest things when we talk about branding is, who do I want to reach? And a lot of times it's like, well, I want to reach everybody. Okay, that's great. Obviously, we want to reach everybody, but who am I mostly focused on? So you could be like, I'm focused on people between the ages of 25 and 35 who are in the military. That's who I'm focused on. Those are my people. Or you could be like, I'm single and ready to mingle. Just kidding. But like, I'm single and I want to find my other single people who are between 30 and 40. Or you could be, I'm an empty nester and I want to find all the people, around my age, which could really be anywhere between 40 and 100 years old, so think about who are you wanting to reach and really kind of tailor what you're doing towards that and focus on that. Obviously, you're going to have outliers. You can have a 20-year-old come up to you. You could be 60 and be like, I want to join you. Like, yes, please join me. But focus on those people. Even think about down to where are they located? Are they in the United States? Are they abroad? Are they in the Eastern United States? Kind of think about that. What expertise do you have to share? If you've been around longer than a month or even a couple of days, if you can smell all of your testers and know at least half of them are, then you can be an expert. That's what I love, having parties and customers and knowing my scents. And so if they're like, oh, I really like citrus, I'm like, here, smell these, because it makes you look like an expert. So just, if you know your scents in your catalog, you're an expert, and share that with people. Show them like, oh my goodness, let's pretend this. I smelled this Scentsy bar today and it was so good, and it has citrus in it. And if you like this bar, you're gonna love this bar too. Show them that you're an expert. What do you want people to know about you and your brand? Are you fun? Are you funky? Do you like to dye your hair like Jamie and like wear like super, retro clothing and do all that fun stuff? Or do you have, long hair and glasses, and you sometimes you walk out of the house, you're like, wow, you look like a mom. You look like a mom today. Like what's your brand? And whatever it is, that's totally fine. Your brand is not wrong. It's just, what are you? Who are you? And what do people think of you? What do they remember about you? They're like, man, she's super cool. Like, I could talk to her all day long. Oh, she's super positive, and no matter when I'm around her, I just feel so much better when I walk away. And remember, you want to attract people. So if at any moment you're like, I kind of, which we all do, open mouth, insert foot, right? But if we're doing that one too many times, maybe just rein it in a little bit and go, do I care who I'm attracting with that? Because some people don't. And some people will attract those same people. And that's not a bad thing. Just think about what you want with your brand. It's the same thing. I don't get in. I've learned this for a long time ago. I do not get in fights on social media, and I try not to block or unfollow people unless it's absolutely necessary. Well, unfollow because they don't know. But I try not to unfriend or block, because I'm like, someday, even this annoying person could become a really good customer of mine. I try not to be alienating or anything like that. And what are your brand colors? So this you don't have to know right away, but think about it. So I naturally tend to go towards blush pink and light gray. And so I've just kind of turned a lot of my branding into that. If I'm making a flyer, or if I borrow a flyer from someone else, I will go in, because most people now are sharing their Canva templates. I'll go in and kind of change the colors so it looks more like my brand. So that way, when someone opens up my Happy Mail, it looks like Shelly Happy Mail. If you're like, I don't know, just play around with it. If you like fun, vibrant colors, then always have your marketing and your newsletters and everything vibrant colors. If you like more muted colors, go with that. If you're like, I love black and white, make everything black and white. It doesn't, there's no right or wrong in that. Okay, let's see. I love that. You get tagged posts about birds. Yes, love all that. How am I about to be 37 and can't come up with a brand? That's totally fine. You don't have to do it right now, but kind of work on it. And it doesn't have to be this over the top branding. Just slowly start to go, you know what? Someone posted this newsletter and it's a Canva template, and I can go in and change the colors. Go in and play around with it. It's a struggle. For real, Christina, it's a huge struggle. And sometimes we rebrand. Scentsy, it's only been 3 times. They've rebranded 3 times. We had our original like Sister Frisky font, and then we kind of changed it to more of like a straight font, and then we kind of rebranded one more time. And that's normal. Major brands, if you go back and you look, there's lots of major brands that have rebranded. And so there's no right or wrong in, what your brand looks like now versus what it looks like in a year. But this is where we have these programs so you can start working on and thinking about it. So all these questions that I just talked about will be, like I said, in a PDF in the Trello. So that way you can go over those questions and kind of start thinking about what you want to work on. Let's see. Yes, Canva templates are a lifesaver. Okay, any questions? And really about any of attraction marketing branding, it's all about being authentically you. And it's totally okay. Like I said, it's totally okay to borrow things, but you can change it up just by changing your colors. I use something that Kimberly Polito did that I found on the What Did You Share page or the Canva Boss Babes page, and I just changed the colors. So I totally used hers because I'm not going to recreate the wheel, but I just changed the colors to make it more my brand. And so it can be simple as that. I mean, I remember being in high school and my favorite color was like orange. I don't really know why, but it was orange. And I actually one of those big giant orange puffy coats. But then as I have become an adult, orange quickly did not stay my favorite color. And I went back to pink because that's who I think. I've always loved pink. And but I like more of a muted pink. I want it like what I'm wearing. I want to be there, but I don't want to be there. So I go with a more cool, calm pink. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, look at Canva's branding feature, and there's also a spot where yeah, they can even there's like add colors, you know, when you go to choose colors and it's like add colors. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Let me look real quick, 'cause I'm right on Canva actually. Yeah, and there's a brand kit, like brand colors, and you can click edit, and all of these like brand colors pop up, and they're all together. There's even fonts that you can choose that kind of all work together instead of you spending 10 hours on Canva scrolling through fonts. And then you look so long that the words don't even look like they're spelled right. So, okay. So, homework is looking at this sheet and filling it out, trying to figure out what your brand is. If you need help, reach out to your squad and y'all can work together on all of those things. I will also be posting some other like YouTube information of trainings that kind of expand more of what we chatted about on the Trello, and continue posting your ahas, get with your leader, your upline, once you are ready to submit your homework and your form. Yes, and I'm excited to see what everyone comes up with. If y'all would like to share any marketing or a logo or some type of brand thing that you've come up with, I'd love to see that in the ahas. We would love to see that. All right. I hope everyone has an amazing week and I can't wait to see what y'all do. We will see y'all later. Bye.